checking.
Okay.
There are two microphones. So one for there, I think. Do we have another one to answer some questions in the room?
Okay, I can ask.
Yeah.
Okay, I will need a microphone.
I know. He is going to.
And then I will need a wall.
You need a wireless on your head, or do you prefer that, or?
I don't mind a microphone. I'm happy with a microphone.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the person who gives the pitch case can go here. Yeah.
Yeah. On. Off.
Okay. So it's off now.
Now it's off. Yeah.
Okay, I'll pick it up later. Are any of these waters okay?
Yeah.
I'll just grab one.
So, can I invite you to take your seat? Then we can continue the program. The highlight of the program, I would say. Please be seated.
While we're getting seated, could I please invite the presenters of the arable crops to please come up next to the stage. After that, I'll be calling people per trial, okay? So that you're all in waiting. So if the people who are presenting the arable crop trial, please come to the side here on the seats. We still have 2 minutes till we start, okay. But we can always start early. Thank you all for coming to Almeria. We're really pleased. And I want to give a special thank you to our local stakeholders. We have invited from the Association of Producer Organizations, also from the Cooperative Bank Cajamar, technology company, Hispatec. We've invited our stakeholders, the people that we work with on a daily basis, because we wanted them to share in the projects that we're engaged in. See if they can give us insights into what's useful for them. We want to see how this can help our sector, etc. So I want to give a special thank you to our Spanish local stakeholders for coming here. I know you're busy people. You left your work to come here, so I hope you find the next cases interesting. We're going to go through the various cases of arable, dairy, fruits, vegetables, and meat. We don't have a lot of time. We have to be extremely efficient, and my role here is really not to say much, which is very difficult for me, for those who know me. But I'm going to be the stopwatch, okay? So we would ask people as well to speak clearly for the translators, because we have a translation here for our farm. And I will invite the first person from the arable crop, please, to come up to the stage. And you have 5 minutes, and I will be really, really a dictator in this regard, okay? So please begin.
Okay. Is it working? Yes. Good morning, everybody. Welcome on this first pitch. The name is Within Field Management Zoning, and in this use case we want to demonstrate IoT technologies in potato production with the aim to develop precision farming. And as you know, precision farming is doing the right thing at the right time and the right place in the right amount. We do this in a quite large group. You see the logos of the different partners. Small companies and very big ones. and well, it's very interesting to work here on the different technologies. We work on 4 demonstrations, and we selected one to demonstrate to you, and that is the one on SolMap-based variable rate application and machine automation in potato production. Where are we in the value chain? We have 3 services, as you can see here on the bottom, in this demonstration, delivering it to farmers to optimize the crop management. And it's divided in the SolMap service, in a variable rate application map service, and the automation and machine communication service. The data can also be used in the value chain for processors to optimize their processing and also to do track and tracing. I'll come to that later. I will give you now some pictures to give an impression, and here is the last one. I mentioned we have 3 services. For you on the left, you see the soil map service with a picture. That's the sensor that goes over the field and makes a map on the electric conductivity of that field. And that is converted into a map, as you see on the bottom, with the different colors, showing different soil parameters. That service, that data is then used on a farm management information system, you see in the middle, that can be used to optimize the planting density, to optimize the herbicide use, the fertilizer use. And in the middle you see an example of a task map that we developed and that was applied last year in the demonstration farm. And then that data goes to the machine, and then still interesting thing happens on these machines. They look like big machines, but there's computers there, and that convert the task map into a machine task map, and also the data is logged there. Well, here also a little bit about the data flow. So data goes into the SolMap service. When it's available, it goes to the farm management system where the farmer can make his task map, and then it's sent to the machine to do the things. Well, then we have a format where we have some information on the product fact sheet. So this gives the information about the product, and later on I have some slides on the user story. Well, for the SolMap, the service, existing SolMaps were often not accurate enough and also not user-friendly. So in the use case, we optimize the process of making a good quality SolMap, and that's leading to better forecast and also higher resolution of the SolMap. Then the next step, and maybe that's the most underestimated one in the case of precision agriculture adoption, the translation of data into added value for the farmer. Well, here we developed and we apply models that translate the data into advices and leading to better yield, better quality, reduction of pesticide use. In the test case that we had 23% reduction on the herbicide use, and also the fertilizer use is optimized. And then the last one, that's maybe also a challenge for us, is to optimize the machine communication. Now it still requires a lot of handwork to optimize this, but if it is more optimized, it gives time reduction and also higher application precision, and also comfort for the farmer. Well, then a little bit about the product user story. We have 2 stories here, one for the farmer, one for the processors. If farmers start to apply this, they will have less production costs, they will have less adverse side effects, and yield and quality of the products will be higher. And for the processors, they are following our use case. They are not directly involved, but they are looking at it and see what they can do with it. But if they have good connection with these farmers, they get information about the produce, so they can do better track and trace. They are also part of a more sustainable production line, and they can optimize the processing based on the information they get from the farmers. Well, this is what we want to do in our use case the coming year, is to further optimize the automatic flow of data to the farmer. From May to September, we'll do trials on 2 locations in the Netherlands and Belgium, and hopefully we have good results by the end of this year again. Thank you for your attention.
That was amazing. 5 minutes and 10 seconds. Thank you very much. Okay, the next person on the arable trials, please. This one is on precision crop management.
Okay, welcome everybody. Our use case is managed by Arvalis and Orange, and it aims at developing a high precision crop management tool for wheat, and it's located in France. So actually, it's focused on the farm production level and proposes two complementary tools. One is a crop monitoring dashboard, and the other one is a water and nitrogen manager. It is today essential to finally adjust practices at the farm level to account for climate variability and also to increase farm incomes, food quality, limit environmental impacts of crop production. So our first product is the monitoring dashboard that provides daily crop maps based on a unique combination of data from IoT ground-based systems and satellite images that provide a full spatial monitoring for high spatial and temporal observations. This product can be used by farmers for early detections of any problems occurring in their fields. It can also be used by service providers as an input for more advanced services. Based on these observations, our water and nitrogen manager provides application maps using expert crop models and decision rules. It is used for in-season management, and it calculates needs, the crop needs, and timing and quantities of inputs. This service is directly proposed to farmers or through cooperatives who can support the services to the farmers. So our solutions are already in the field. The European satellites Sentinel-2 are taking images every 5 days. The Bosch IoT field sensors are taking daily images, crop reflectances. They measure the soil water status and the weather conditions at the same time in the same place. So it's a very unique combination of technologies. Our tools are computing the next actions to be done by the farmers in their field. And therefore, using our services, farmers have daily access to all data from their field, so the crop, soil, and climate at the same time. That is unique. And they can access this information wherever they are. And they also get high precision water and nitrogen advices for an optimized management of their farms. The second user story concerns the cooperatives and the farm organizations, which can have access to a regional overview of their collecting areas, allowing early detection problems, to also develop traceability tools, to forecast their yields. And they also collect a comprehensive data sets to identify underperforming farms and to identify also a factor of success. So our services are running in 2018 as prototypes on a few fields and will be released for commercial use in 2019. So the strength of our solutions, it's flexibility. So we have developed it on wheat for water and the nitrogen management, but using the same technologies, the same sensors, it is quite easy to develop new applications on new crops or to address new issues like disease or pest detection, for instance. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. really important point about the flexibility and the new applications using the same technology. Thank you. Okay, next use case. I think I'll stand here.
I'm going to talk about how we implement IoT technology in soybean production in our use case. My name is Georg Spreitzer. I work for the association Donausoja, who promotes the production of non-genetically modified soybeans in Europe. In this use case, we collaborate with Soja Italia to establish a decision support system for soybean farmers who aim to harvest premium soya. Various actors along the value chain may benefit from our solution. Our soya quality management is based on two pillars. First, the production advisory tool for soybean farmers, and second, the traceability and documentation feature, which will increase data availability, especially about the production, as we focus on farmers and primary collectors with this feature. Let me show you some visual impressions of our product. For example, we map yield and protein content as the main indicator for soya quality. And the tool also features pest control and irrigation control, as well as graphs and statistics for traceability and documentation purposes. So this is about the production advisory tool. Based on IoT technology and experts' knowledge, this decision support system assists farmers by maximizing the soya quality. If you look in the middle of this slide, you see the core features. We aim to assist the farmer with variety selection and with optimizing irrigation and pest control, as well as with mapping of the harvest quantity and quality indicators to learn about the production efficiency of different field zones. On the right-hand side, the key performance indicators show where this should lead us. We aim to highly improve quality and yield, but be much more efficient in terms of water usage for irrigation. All right, having considered the production advisory tool, let's now have a look on the traceability and documentation section. The provider of this software solution may be a quality standard or brand holder. Users are actors along the value chain who comply with this quality standard. If you look at the middle of the slide, you see that this tool can be used for assessing the production conditions and relevance of quality guidelines, as well as for tracking soybeans from the very first steps of production by choosing the proper variety through the whole production process up to marketing the harvest and to help the farmer to gain premiums. As an illustration of the relevance of our product, imagine a young farmer who wants to grow soybeans and does not yet know where to start. With the help of our tool, he gets assistance from the very first steps by choosing the variety and ongoing support through the whole production process. So that's how a farmer can benefit from our solution. Let's have a look on how soya processors and certification bodies can benefit. With our product, processors get soybeans with a very high protein content and hence can increase their benefits. Through an automated data management, the certification process is much more facilitated for all parties. And as the data availability is increased, advanced assessments can be compiled, and again, competitive advantages may open up. Finally, let's have a look on our time plan. We are working with a demo version at the moment to collect all the necessary data for the decision support system, and we aim to have a demo version for traceability and documentation feature by autumn of this year. And for next year, we will have the variety selection feature and the pest alerts. And our final product in 2020 will be an improved second version of the decision support system with all the presented features, as well as with the traceability and documentation section. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, please come up to me and let's have a talk.
Okay, our next use case.
Hi, I'm Jason Roesbeke. Our use case is about farm-machine interoperability. It is a horizontal use case, so we are not only supporting use cases in the Arrival Trail, but also in the other trails within IOF 2020. Interoperability is a key enabler for a seamless data exchange between all the links in the value chain. We are working on the first 3 links. Our end goal is Internet of Moving Things. The farmer will be able to connect different brands together with his choice of software solutions. Our challenge is that there is a lack of interoperability of farming equipment due to the different digital standards in each link of the value chain. Precision farming will transform into decision farming. Precision farming will transform into smart farming. Our use case is about bringing different digital standards together so that our product will have the following core product features. Multi-vendor adapt plugins. These are tools to enable offline interoperability, to be able to speak the same digital language. Secondly, a cloud API, a standard API to enable much easier connections between machinery and cloud solutions. Also, as thirdly, automation and communication. This means enabling truly Internet of Moving Things. So, what are the business models in the Internet of Moving Things within agricultural world? There are many players in the value chain: farmers, contractors, farm machine manufacturers, communication providers, software companies, service providers, and so on. This makes many business models possible. It all depends on your answer to the following questions. Who sells the data? Who pays for the actual transfer of the data? Who pays for the development of the standards? And also, who pays for the data transformation into knowledge? Some business models already try to answer some of these questions. The most popular ones are that the connection is paid by the farmer, or that the data sharing platform is included in the price of the machine, or that the farmer sells his data and he gets the service for free. What is also possible is that software companies pay manufacturers for data. What will our use case bring to the customers? For farmers with medium to large farm size, effortless data transfer. They're able to access their data in real time and easy controllable. For the farm management information system or the service providers, they will save a lot of development time because of, again, a single standard and to handle different formats, and a single standard to make connections to machinery. They will be able to concentrate more resources on creating and supporting new services. For the machine manufacturers, the farm machine manufacturers, they will again also save a lot of development time because of a single standard, and as a side effect, making their machinery connected. It opens up new business potentials by using their data on their machinery, combining with other data sources and other services. So here is our time plan. The first phase was kickstarting the offline interoperability. The second phase is that today we are currently actively participating in the development of an IoT standard protocol to enable connections. Next year we will combine phase 1 and 2. And before halfway through the last year of the IOF 2020 product, we want to really have the Internet of Moving Things. That being said, action speaks much louder than words. So I invite you to meet us during the poster sessions and ask for a live demo for our results of the first phase. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was very, very interesting. If I can then have the next trial come up. Yeah. So we've heard from the 4 aerials, and now we want to hear from the 4 dairy. Okay. While we're switching over, I want to say that on these cases, there's been some topics we've been talking about over these last days: interoperability, the whole issue about data sharing. What is the business model? Who owns it? What does the farmer get in return? And a third really important point, of course, is who are the people who benefit? It's not just the farmer. Are we creating new products along the way that can be used by other people in the supply chain? Okay, so if I can have the first dairy use case. This is a very nice group of trials because they have such happy titles. There's happy cows and herdsmen, etc. But we'll hear from. Thank you.
Good morning. I present a cow grazing monitor. It's an automatic registration system for location and activity tracking of cows. It's a use case worked out by Sensolus, that's my company. It's an IoT company in Belgium in collaboration with Ilvo and Inagro. Where is the value created with our solution? On the one hand, at the farm production side, on the other hand, the processing industry, but also the governmental legal registrations can benefit from this solution because we create an automatic reporting system that's integrated with the existing templates that governments provide. How does our solution looks like? We already launched the solution in 2 stables in Belgium. On the one hand, we have a GPS tracker or a location and activity tracker that is attached to the cow. We work over the Sigfox low power network. Then we install beacons in the stables to more concretely define the location of the cows within the stables, and then we have a cloud application where all data is visualized on the location and activity of the cows. So in fact, this automated digital registration of dairy cow pasturing times and animal activity and location, we try to make the solution more easy for farmers to prove that their cows have been on pasture for a certain amount of time, and also that they can guarantee that they take enough emission reduction strategies and prove to the government that they've put their cows on pasture. What is typical for our solution? It's an end-to-end IoT solution, which means that there is no professional installation needed, and that the GPS trackers or the location trackers, they work up to 5 years with only 3 AA batteries, which means that the return on investment can be counted in this amount of time. If we look to the story of the farmer, where is the value for him? He has the reduced labor time for administration, so that he doesn't need to use manual pen and paper-based reporting anymore, because everything is done digitally and automatically. And this means that he has more time for other things, so no manual counting anymore. Okay, also the solution can be used for more animals in the wild, to track individual animals or herds and to know where they are. And we also use the solution to track machinery who has no batteries inside, like smaller parts of machines that can be around and that can be shared or can be rented by other parties. So then also we count the operational hours of the machines to know when a machine can break down or need some repairments. Then what is the created value for governments and dairy processors? Now they have to physically audit the farms to see if the pasture times and the emission reduction strategies are at place. Here we have a totally reliable system that is digital reported to the government directly. This also reduced cost for the government and an improved connection between the farmers, the dairy processors, or the government. So what did we do until now? Until now, we rolled out this technology in 2 farms. We used the web app to show how the data is captured. We analyzed the data, what was reality and what our data captured. Now the next phase is that in March we will track again cows on pasture and other farms, and we are starting with the development of a mobile app. And then in October we will also integrate with existing governmental templates on pasture time and on emission reduction strategies, so that we have a full end-to-end solution for cow monitoring. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So we see there return on investment, saved labor times. Those are nice words to hear. Next trial, please. It's interesting the emphasis there on processes in your case. How it's not just, we often think about production, we're very focused on that, but there's a lot of savings here we can do in the processes. Thank you. Here we go. Happy cow.
Happy cow. Right, thank you for having us. My name is Niels Molenaar. I'm with Connectera. As you can see some of our partners in the slide, I will take you to what we do and explain to you how we do it. So where are we positioned? So currently we are positioned mostly at the farm production. We have a artificially intelligent dairy farmer's assistant. Her name is Ida. She keeps track of your cows 24/7. If something needs your attention, she'll say what to do. And by this we impact the production at the farm by looking at the health of the animals and making sure that they produce as they should. You don't have any sick animals that will cost you milk yield or anything else. What does it look like? So first we have estrus detection. Estrus detection is important for a farmer because it helps you to reduce your calving interval, which means basically you get more milk from a cow by inseminating her at the right time. And we actually think with the farmer on what the right time is. So we don't only learn the behavior of the cow, but we also learn the behavior of the farm management strategy. And this means that instead of saying the cow is on heat, which is normally done, we can actually tell the farmer, for this cow and your farming practices, this is the right time to inseminate her. We also do health insights, whether your cows are in the barn or on pasture, whether you see them or not. If we see an issue with your cow, Ida will warn you. So for example, we see that she's ruminating less, or maybe there's a different change in behavior. She will warn you and make sure that the cow gets the attention that she needs. And we're looking at value chain integration in terms of there is a need for partners to get insight into this data. The question is, what do they need and how do we give it to them? So that will be a next step in the project where we work together with the value chain upwards to make sure that we have a synchronization of data where not only the farmer has a clear advantage of the system, but also partners within the value chain. The fact sheet. So like I mentioned, we work on calving interval. This is what estrus detection does. We increase the milk production of the cow. But also what's interesting, if you look at the health of the cow and you can detect health issues of the cow before the farmer would, the treatment is often less invasive, it's cheaper, and the cow will be up to her normal milk production within a shorter amount of time. And this actually means that you don't only save money on medication, but you also again increase the milk yield from this cow by keeping her happy and healthy. So how is IDA different from current systems? So currently the farmer spends a lot of time in the barn looking at his cows. Sometimes he's out and he has a helping hand, and the helping hand is milking his cows. And in all these cases he would spend time, or his helping hand would miss cases of health issues or estrus, where he would spend a lot of money making the cow healthy again because the cow's sickness increases over time. So by having this system, we allow the farmer to get a little bit of time back. There's less labor involved for the farmer, less time in the barn looking at cows. And this really helps to give the farmer back some time and help him with the health of his herd. So how do we do this over time? So currently we have a system that's deployed at farms. We have 2 farms running, one in the Netherlands, one in Belgium. Next farms will be coming in the coming months. And also in terms of features, they will increase. So because the farmer can give feedbacks to the system lures the cows, it lures the farmers, but it also democratization of knowledge. And this means that by having one farmer give feedback to the system, another farmer can have the advantage. So we'll start to learn new diseases, and these new diseases will basically be rolled out over time, and also the precision of the system will be increased over time with these milestones on the road. And that would be my story.
Thank you. Our next use case in this area? Thank you.
Hi, I'm Craig Mickey. I'm going to talk about use case 2.3, Herdsman Plus. It may strike some resonances with what we've heard before. Okay, so what does Herdsman Plus do? Herdsman Plus began its life as a fertility welfare neck-mounted collar device to monitor estrus and to monitor cattle for other behaviour changes that might indicate that there was some change in pattern that is an indication of a welfare issue. What we're moving forward with this now is integrating that with other on-farm measurement capabilities to improve the performance and to enhance system operation. Right, so what do we mean by that? Okay, the initial minimum value product, if you like, is the one shown at the left. Cows have got a radio-based accelerometer collar. They do some edge processing on the collar, send the information to a base station, which has effectively some what you might call fog processing in the Internet of Things jargon. The data is presented in terms of a local application that runs on the farm PC, but also is mirrored onto the cloud. What do we do with that? Well, we reduce the calving index, just as Nils said his stuff does as well. We reduce the calving index, and that means more money for the farmer. The graph on the right shows an example of what happens once the collar went into a farm. Initially, there was a little bit of a peak where the farmer was getting used to the system, and then after that, the calving index drops regularly all the way down, and what that means for the farmer is an increased revenue stream. So that was where we were. Pretty much an industry-leading heat detection system, given a reduced calving index, higher profitability. Within that, we also analyze the eating, rumination, and general activity to indicate that something might or might not be right with the animal, in which case we can get the veterinary assistant in as quickly as possible. Where we're going now is we integrate that with other measurement streams that come from the farm. So this doesn't even have to be a silent herdsman collar. It could be a Connectera collar. It could be any collar. As long as we can get some data that gives us an indication of eating or rumination and standing, lying, walking, whatever that might be, we can integrate that with other farm measurements. And the one we've targeted is the milking robot, which gives us a lot of detailed information about the milk components. How that helps us is that every system is vulnerable to false positives. When you take two completely orthogonal systems, you're able to reduce the number of false positives, and you're also able to specifically identify a target illness. And the one we're looking at just now is mastitis. It looks as though we can pick up mastitis a few days in advance of where the farmer can. Initiate an action like milk stripping from the robot, and therefore obviate the need for any antibiotic treatment. So there we have it. Initial minimum value product was the estrus detection. We're at the stage now where we're combining that with other stuff to target initially mastitis. We've got a kind of proof of concept done at that stage. By this time next year, I think that will be more robust. And as we learn how to interrogate other sensor modalities, we can really begin to identify other welfare and other illness issues. So that's kind of where we are. Am I on time?
You are absolutely on time. In fact, I can let you talk a tiny bit longer if you want.
That's all right.
Thank you. And the last case for dairy, yeah.
What's the next one?
Okay, my name is Arjan Bom, project leader of remote dairy quality, working for QLUB. QLUB is an organization who is active in quality assurance in agri-food, but mainly in dairy. And I'm glad that I can present this use case to you. Why is that? Where are we in our use case in the whole chain? We are really focusing on the dairy processes. So as the other use cases are mainly focused on farmer level, we are focusing on the dairy processes. What we see at dairy processes, that they have a lot of instruments already available on their sites to test quality of incoming milk. to standardize milk and to optimize their dairy processing. And we come in place there to assure the quality of those test results, because those instruments always give you a result, but the question mark is always, what's the quality of your result? And we are helping them to assure that quality. So as said, there are a lot of instruments available already at dairy processor site, and we, with our knowledge and expertise, want to help them to optimize and assure the quality of their test results so that they have good information, good decision information to optimize their processes. So what is the major challenges for QA managers and processor operators and laborants at dairy processors is to maintain reliable test results from those infrared analyzers they are using, and also maintain calibration and harmonization of their expertise within their company. So what our tool will provide them, our remote dairy quality tool, is that it will provide them with a specific calibration plan. But that's nice to have a plan, but it also always comes to executing on a plan. And we want to help them to monitor that plan with standard operating procedures that are in place. And at the end of the day, that's essential to have high quality test results, that you use the right SOPs regarding sample handling. And we will monitor that with our tool. So we monitor and check on the execution of the calibration plan. And at the end of the day, we will also check if the test results are within the limits the dairy processor likes and needs. The system will generate alerts if the execution is done on the plan, and also if the limits are, the results are correct, yes or no. So what we see in practice, we see that there is, in many cases, not a standardized calibration plan available. With this tool, we will put a plan in place for the dairy processor, and it will monitor the execution and the calibration of the plan. And at the end of the day, it will lead to more efficiency, production efficiency, and also to a higher level of assured quality. We are mainly aiming on dairy processors globally, and currently we have our MVP, first MVP ready, and we start testing with dairy processors like Fonterra and Bettinehoeve and Almeria within the Netherlands to improve our first MVP. But we will also look into the possibility to have this approach also available early in the chain, because we see that those instruments are becoming smaller and also become available on milk transport or on dairy farmer sites, and we want to have this approach also in there, and we are looking into the possibilities how we can implement IoT elements in this process as well. So thank you for your attention.
Okay, if I can call the next fruit trial up. These slides are so full of information. So, please, I want you to understand that you can look at these things clearly outside in the hallways on the posters, but also online later. And it would be great to be able to ask lots of questions now, but we can't. So we're going to carry on with our marathon. But people are available during the lunch and I'm sure at the posters. Okay, thank you very much.
Good morning, my name is Vincenzo Verrastro. I am from Mediterranean Agronomic Institute of Bari, Italy. I am the leader of Fresh Table Grapes chain, who is composed from two trials, one in Italy about organic agriculture and organic table fresh chain, and the Greek one, who is an integrated agriculture. In the value chain, in the farm asset production, we are working for KC calculation for productive DSS for table grapes, and from the logistic point of view, even with the blow, with the trace atmosphere quality with a specific label. Here are some impressions of the products we have installed in Italy. We have a meteorological station, we have automatic irrigation through electrovalves. We have for the KC calculation the use of tags applied to each crop of the orchard of table grapes, and some leaf porometers in order to establish in a good way the KC calculation. About the fresh consumption, or for the post-harvest, we have the blow with a label which is installed on the packaging, on the final one that goes to the consumer. The adaptive DSS that we are going to develop better this year is something that has as a major challenge the opportunity for the farmer to have a multi-sensor measurements from the meteorological information you can gather from the field, adapted and coupled with something that belongs to the physiology answer of the crop after the movements or after the things that you do in the field, with the production dashboard that helps us to reach, we hope very soon, the KPIs that we installed as water usage, in, management, yield, crop value, and quality of the finished project. About the KC calculation, there is an adaptive formula that starts from FAO and needs us to have the crop evapotranspiration coefficient, which based on different crops, orchards, such as the table grapes. And with this advanced crop data and using it, we can automatically evaluate the calculation with a specific data useful for use at a better stage and in a better way the water for irrigation. But this has influence, of course, in table grapes, also on yield, leaf area index of the leaves, and water use efficiency. About the blow label with an installation placed on the packaging for after the harvesting of the grapes. We are trying to have a shelf life prolongation because it's fundamental to have this for the market use, and a validation of a selected gas mixture using this blow able to exchange gases between inside and outside the final package. This has a direct effect on the shelf life of the packaging and a post-harvest rejection that could be diminished after the application of this blow label. What happens in the field, mainly in Italy, and we hope from next year even in Greece, at irrigation scheme. Irrigation terms are decided from the farmer by his own knowledge. In this way, we can adapt and formulate it to an app using normally a simple device like the mobile phones. Then we have several partial ETU solutions that were not connected in the past with this DSS, with the decision support system. It can be adaptive considering the situation in which we are, especially in organic farming. You need to be tempestive in some organic treatments or whatever. In the post-harvest, the shelf life could be extended using also new technology with well functioning for the organic sector, like the MAP with modified atmosphere packaging. The first results are already present from 2017 because we are still working from 1 year, but at the moment in Italy we are working on a large farmers of 50, 100 hectares. In Greece they are smaller and we are trying to adapt this situation even to smaller farmers. Our plan for the past years was the installation of all the equipment. In this new year we want to develop better the blue leaf and adapted DSS, using also a KC estimation that should be defined very soon. In 2019, we are going to improve the DSS and have an automatic calibration and estimation of the KC, even enlarging on large scale the use of the blow system on the packaging. And finally, at the end of the project, the DSS should be adapted to the wool farm and should be a sort of standard, we hope, for the Apofruit member group of the project who is going to implement it at large scale, even on the market option. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Okay, next use case. Okay, 2 for the same price, okay.
Okay, my name is Mario Diaz-Nava from ST Microelectronics. I am leading this big wine optimization use case. The value chain of big wine optimization concerns the development of devices and tools for wine sustainability from production to end user. The main products are concerned at winery, process to wine, and the near-handling spectrometer. And in the transport side, we will develop the winding modem. The first is our IoT tools is an extension of the process to wine management system, which provides precision viticulture and winemaking supervision services. These tools addresses the following challenges. Precision viticulture deals with high amount of data. Data processing requires too much time without appropriate tools. Decision making at any time and anywhere is not always possible today. This tool provides the following main features. A professional dashboard of key parameters gathered from IoT sensors in the vineyards and cellars, and single and easy to use interface to display in real time aggregated and processed data. This tool provides also the following main benefits. sustainable asset usage, for instance, to reduce water and electricity consumption and CO2 emissions, pesticides management to reduce the pesticides usage. Furthermore, this tool allows having a sustainable footprint per bottle available for both the wineries and the end users. Okay, concerning the user story, what we see that our product provides the following advantage versus the current situation. Automatic monitoring of vineyards and cellars, smart metering of water and electricity consumption, pesticides treatments locally applied. Our product targets medium wineries and wine-making cooperatives. Then finally, this slide shows an example of our product capabilities. For instance, from the main menu here, here in the middle, we have that it is possible to know the weather conditions gathered from the specific water station. You see all the parameters there. And we have also the capabilities to show where is located geographically this weather station. And on top of that, we are able to have an histogram of the different parameters, selected parameters, according to what you wish to see. For instance, here we have the rain precipitation and temperature datagrams. Thank you.
Thank you, Mario.
This is the second part.
The Italian cluster of the same use case actually is dealing with two other phases, so wine making and wine shipping. And I think this one. In winemaking, a critical phase is fermentation, for example, and we need very frequent monitor to avoid insurgence of defect. With the actual paradigm for analysis is not possible for reason of cost and for reason of time. So we are actually thinking about putting the winemaker itself in the position of making the analysis to have real-time results and to really actuate the preventive control of the process. We are developing this system, which is here represented, so we are actually decoupling the analysis with a very easy spectrometer, easy to use, cheap, and very sustainable, who's sending the spectra to the cloud, where a calibration curve is hosted and is elaborating the data, and the winemaker receives back in real time a certain number of key parameters which are allowing him to acting and to avoid problems. The second phase we are dealing with is wine shipping, where extreme temperature can really damage the wine profile and the wine quality. Right now, we don't really know which is the sensitivity to temperature in terms of time and increase of temperature of each wine, so which is one of the issues and one of the features we want to reach. And also, the data logger are not presently available, are not exactly responding to all the needs of the wine industry. So again, here is the representation. So we are developing a lab test to understand exactly which is the sensitivity to temperature of each lot of wine, and that allows to better prepare the wine for bottling and to choose the best condition, the cheapest and the most sustainable condition for transportation. On the other side, a digital data logger is allowing to follow the temperature, and this has a direct transmitter which is giving the data to the winery without any intermediate intervention. I don't have the time to comment this, but we expect current 19 to be able to have commercial and field trial products.
Thank you very much, and apologies for the rushing again, but we have a lot of cases to hear. Okay.
Hello, good morning. My name is Rafael Ferrer from Ispatec. Ispatec is in charge of this use case, automated olive chain, that cover all the value chain, and we are working in 2 countries, in Spain and Greece, and this is the partner that we are working in this use case. This is our value chain. We are working in in the pre-harvest area and the post-harvest area too, connected each other. And this is some pictures and screenshots about the solution that we are now implemented on the fields and in the olive mills. This is some screenshots about the data gathering in the fields that is represented in some graphs. And here is some pictures about the meteo stations and other IoT devices that are connected to the irrigation system in order to control the irrigation, and some screenshot about the advisory board where we are working with a model, agronomic model to define irrigation system. This is our product fact sheet. This is in the frame of farmer solutions. Our major challenges is working in traceability and food safety, and other items like resource consumption optimization, quality improvement, and so on. And our core features for the product is we are working in the integration of the old processes in the value chain, and we are using for this ERP solutions that cover all the value chain and the corresponding models on the fields, and working in the fields and crop management and irrigation advisory solution. This is our KPIs, our key performance indicators. We are working in increase the yield and reduce the total average cost, the water and energy reduction, and the lower resource levels. This is our solution in the frame of agro-industry in the post-harvest area, that we are working also in traceability and food safety and resource consumptions, and improve the quality of the olive oil. This is our core products impacts in quality monitor and traceability. This is our principal key performance indicators. We are working in increase the yield and reduce the total average cost, and reducing the processing time in milling process, and quality increase. And our product user history, we are working in improvement of digitalization in the fields in order to gathering all the data in automatic mode. We are working in improve all the IoT solutions thoroughly integrated in one another, using these ERP solutions as a central point. We are working in improvement and optimization of the management manners. And in the olive mills, in the post-harvest area, we are working in the improvement of the traceability in the whole value chain, and the normalization of the agronomic criteria and levels, and working in interoperability. This is for the end consumer that we are working to, and we are working to assure the traceability for food safety for the end consumer, and for quality assurance. And this is our roadmap for the product. The first one is to have a minimum value product in April next month, and this is the second one. We are working in the ERP with all the IoT devices and all the IoT models integrated in the ERP, and then the agronomic models working on the platform, and the final version for the end of the project. That's it, and thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much. Perfect. Okay. Props.
So, hello, my name is Christian Schmidt. I'm working for a Europro system, and I'm presenting use case 3.4, intelligent fruit logistics. And in our use case, it's all about this little green tray you can see here next to me. And our idea is to keep it very simple. We will put a smart sensor in the tray to enable the tray to track its own position and to collect data, temperature data. And with that data, with that huge amount of data we can build up some nice features and some nice applications. So as we are a pooling company and we deliver all the farmers, we will have impact at almost the whole value chain. So we deliver the tray to the farmer. The farmer can put his fruits and vegetables into the tray, and the tray and the products, they go together in most cases till the end, till they reach the retailer and the end consumer. That means that we have an impact along the whole value chain. So if you have a look on the left picture, we have one of our trays combined with a so-called Kissy tracker. That's a nice match and a nice combination, and with that we are able to track the trays right now. But for sure that's not enough for us, and that's not enough for the 4 years runtime of the project. So we have a company NXP in our team, and they will design a prototype for us that fits completely into our tray. So you can see the prototype 1 on the middle picture, and that's based on the Sigfox technology. We are currently working on a second prototype, and I'm pretty sure that we will constantly improve those prototypes. And then on the right side, you see one of our Europol service centers where we testing the trays inside, but for sure we have to test them also outside in the field. That means for the project in Germany and in the Netherlands, but for the future all over Europe. So as I said, we will collect a lot of data and we will build up some features and applications. And one of our products will be the so-called EPS Tray Radar. That means we will be able to visualize the movements of our trays on a map, and we can see where they are, how they move, and we can, for example, find bottlenecks and get rid of them in the future. That will lead to the fact that we can better serve all of our customers in the future. Then on top of that, we will be able to have an anti-theft system, and this is an important case coming up the last years, that those trays are stolen or misused. And with the anti-theft system, we will be able to support the be-stolen people and the be-stolen partners of the value chain. Then we will have a second feature based on temperature monitoring, and we will be able to collect data concerning the temperature from the beginning to the end, and we can offer those data to all of our value chain members. And there again, we will be able to have a kind of an alarm system, so if the temperature for the product in the tray is too high or too low, we can send a message and warn that the products are not in the best condition right now. So as we have an impact along the whole value chain, we need different user stories, and we know that our value chain members have different needs. So for the farmers, we know that it's important for them to have the right amount of trays, especially during the harvest time in summer. So we will be able to better serve them with the trays during that time. Then for sure, if we look at the distribution center, at the logistic companies and at the retailers, it will be more important to support them in cases of theft and misuse. Then also we have a look at ourselves, and if we have a full visibility of our RTI movements, we will be able to improve our stock management internally, and that will lead to the fact that, yeah, all the farmers get what they need in time. So if we have a look at the MVP time plan, we also took our decisions concerning the network selection, so we will go with Sigfox right now. Then we have the first sensor made last year. We are currently working on the second one, and this chip or the sensor should be integrated in the tray. We will finish this problem concerning the geolocation during 2018, and then if that's done, we will go on for the next step and integrate the temperature sensor. So we will be done in 2019 with the second feature. And then 2020, we will go large scale and make a lot of sensors and a lot of trays. But this is not the end of the story.
It should be.
It should be, but we can do more and we will do more, so stay tuned. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Okay, then we have the next group of presenters, yeah? So we've gone through the fruits, yeah? And now we have the vegetables. So please, the first use case, if you can come to the stage. I'm sorry? Yeah. Now you're in your homeland, in the sense that we are a vegetable sector.
Good morning. I'm Tom Klinkenberg. I'm working for Staaij Food Group, a company which is processing all the vegetables into plastics and into the consumers. We work together with Staaij, and we work together with Philips and with a knowledge center to see where we can compare all the information what we gather all the time during the process in the total life cycle and the value chain. If we look to the value chain, the product grow-wise is more located on the vegetable and the growth of the vegetable. But you see, and a lot of advantages are going up in the total life cycle if you look to the whole seed from and to the taste and the shelf life cycle. So all these things are related to the topics what we